Okay.
I'll do that now. So
all right, so please mute everyone.
Normal.
All right. So you're welcome, everyone. My name is Zainab Mabini-Adesanya. I am an educational consultant who is helping schools build profitable and sustainable business brands. I am a school growth strategist, a literacy trainer, a brand and marketing strategist. Okay, so I spent a lot of my time helping schools solve their problems, helping them to channel their energy into the right strategies. So I am a proud daughter of Ijebu and a resident of Lagos. Okay, so but I work across all parts of Africa. It's my pleasure to have you all this beautiful Saturday morning. You're welcome. So we'll go straight into our discussion. This summit started last weekend, Innovated Education Africa Summit. There were speakers like, I think, Mr. Olasukomi Okwefa, and I'm sorry for that, and some very brilliant resource persons in this industry. I couldn't make it out of my session because I had physical training when it took a whole lot of my day. I just had to reschedule. So this is why you're having only me this morning. Okay, so okay, if you're happy to be here with me, I'm happy to also have you on board. Okay, so I'll share my screen so you all can see what I have in stock for you. You all can see, you all can read my slides. And of course, you can request for my slides even after this event from the convener. I'll share with him so you can always get his contact. And feel free to reach out to him. Yes, so I want to make sure I open the tab for I should go ahead with the screen sharing. You should see my screen soon. Okay, so can you all see my screen? Okay, so I believe you should see my screen now. All right, so running an innovation-driven school. Here, we are not just talking about having an innovation-driven school, but that how to run it effectively and efficiently. So just join me on this journey as we explore the innovation-driven school this morning. Why is innovation important in education? Why is it important? In education, when we say innovation, we mean all those creative and strategic application of new ideas, approaches, technologies, and methodologies to enhance the teaching learning process. We believe that the teaching and learning process cannot just remain the same every day. There will be need for innovations. There will be need to explore new strategies. There will be need to explore new methodologies. There will be need to explore new technologies because the world is fast changing, so is education as well. And to be ahead of the pack, one must be willing as an educator, as a parent, as a school administrator, and even the government, we all must be willing to pioneer innovation in our industry. And why do we need that? Is that innovation is crucial in education to help prepare better for the future, to improve critical thinking and problem-solving skills, to prepare students to thrive in a multicultural and interconnected world, development of entrepreneurial skills, and general societal advancement. I do say it often that we are in 2023 right now, this year alone, there are new careers that crept in. Before now, we didn't have prompt engineering, but right now we have prompt engineers. With the influx of AI tools out there, we all now know that beyond having those tools, it is important to be able to prompt the tools very well to generate better and faster responses. And people are versed in being able to prompt. What prompt means is that, let me use the common tool that we all know. Let's say ChatGPT. If I prompt ChatGPT if I give ChatGPT very reasonable questions in a very logical way, it will bring out very logical answers, right? But if I just type any question, like my question is not that well written enough, definitely the ChatGPT tool will just give to me back what I have given to it. So we have prompt engineers who are earning thousands of dollars per week right now. Companies employ them just say, okay, you are a prompt engineer. Your own job is to prompt AI tools to help us build our efficiency. It is therefore important that we don't limit education to raising doctors, raising lawyers. We must build their critical thinking and problem-solving skills. We must let them know that at every point in life, they will need to adapt and adopt some new strategies, some new lifestyles, and they must be ready and willing and be well positioned to do that. So if we as leaders in education, if we are able to drive innovation in our schools, it will be easy for students, for our pupils to also drive innovations wherever they are, whichever career path they have chosen. This is why it is important. And the fact that it's an interconnected world, yes, we are here. Anyone can join this session now, and we are all in this room learning and sharing experiences. So it is an interconnected world, and we just have to embrace it. So we are here this morning to discuss how crucial innovation is in education and how we can get that right in our various institutions. Okay, I hope I'm communicating to somebody. All right, so the first section I have divided this lesson into 3 sections. So this very first section is where we understand the context. What is it now? What is education presently in Nigeria? What's the current state of education in Nigeria? Who are the stakeholders? What are our realities now? Then we look ahead and build vision for what we want, and then map out the strategies on how we can get things done. If we look at the current state of education in Nigeria, though we are still struggling with statistics, because even when you consult the Nigeria statistics website, you'll still see lots of gaps are missing. Okay, but we'll still make do with the available data. Okay, let's just manage what we have. If we look at the current state of education in Nigeria, the enrollment rate in primary school for primary education is at least some bit higher. But when it gets to secondary education, you find out that not every child who attended primary school are able to proceed to secondary school. And if you even look at the primary school we're talking about, not every Nigerian child is in school. Not every child is in school. In Lagos, for example, we have about 21,000, we have about 22,000 schools in Lagos State. I mean, primary and secondary schools in Lagos State. And from these 22,000 schools, only about 1,000 schools are owned by the government. So the remaining almost 21,000 schools are private schools. From these 21,000 private schools, we have only a figure of, the last time they published 5,000, but let me put in the fact that, okay, in the last time they published, let's say that was 2 years ago. From that 2 years ago, some few schools have also been approved. We have less than 6,000 private schools that are approved by the state government presently. Less than 6,000. And what that signifies is that the larger number, let's say from 21,000, we have, they are not up to 6,000, right? Well, let me still say 6,000. We deduct 6,000 from 21,000. What do we have? So it means we have that large number of schools that are not approved by the government. And what that means again is that that large number of schools they do not meet up with requirements, with the standard requirements of being approved, of being called a school under the state government. We have that wide gap. And since last year, July 2022, the ministry instructed all financial institutions to not lend out loans or to not even open business accounts for schools that are not approved. So if your school is not approved now, if you don't have that certificate of approval, you can't go ahead and open a bank account in the name of the school. And if you can't open a bank account in the name of the school, it definitely means you can't access loan in the name of the school, except you want to access that loan as a personal, maybe from your personal account, or if you have some other businesses. So that again sets limitations for schools on, okay, if we can't access loan, how then where do we find money to put all these facilities that is needed to get us approved? But I'm glad now that from partnerships with school bodies like NAPS, LIMS, and I'm very sure of NAPS, okay, and some banks, they are able to find a balance of how schools can get loans even without the approval. So what I'm saying in essence is that you can imagine that, the tension is high already. And if we are not careful, if we are not looking critically into what is happening, we may have more pupils who are dropping out of schools. So what do we do and how do we go about this? Apart from enrollment rates, let's also look at the literacy rates. How many people, the literacy here is talking about reading and writing, but that is not the full definition of literacy, right? How many can read and write effectively, efficiently? How many children, how many adults can write their names, can go to banks and get stuff done in written documents? Literacy rates. We also look at the dropout rates, some who attend school, but at a point, they drop out of school, either due to natural disasters, maybe there is erosion and then they want to go to school for quite a number of months. We look at those rates and we see that if we really want to promote quality education across every part of Nigeria, we really all need to sit tight and see what we can all do together. Overcrowded classrooms. The 1,000 schools I mentioned in Lagos. When you go to most of these schools, what do you see? You see classrooms that are overcrowded. At a point in Ogun State, because I have a mom who's a civil servant in Ogun State Teaching Service. At a time she was teaching nursery 1, I don't know what class she's teaching right now. I called and I asked her, we're just chatting, and she was like, they have 91 pupils in their classroom. Nursery 1 should be like 4 to 5 years, right? And there were 91 pupils in that classroom. That's a whole population of a private school, right? Of some private schools. You have 91 pupils. How have you been copied? She said, okay, there are 2 other teachers, maybe 1 other teacher, and then an assistant teacher or something. So overcrowded classrooms. And the government is not really building new schools, except Lagos State builds few more schools. Few. Okay, so overcrowded classrooms. You look at infrastructure. What do we have? When we don't even have the right furniture, not to now talk of all the tools we need for effective teaching and learning processes in the school. You look at this, you look at private schools that are able to afford the infrastructure that is needed for learning. We see the amount they will need to charge. I Some of us may have seen Wabi Interactive Whiteboard and some other interactive whiteboards, and we know how much these boards cost. You talk of VR headsets. How much does VR headsets cost? You talk of a very safe, conducive learning environment. Everything costs an amount. They come at an amount. But who is going to pay for this? Who is going to pay for this? Is the government ready to pay for all this infrastructure? Are parents willing to pay for this infrastructure? Is it possible for educators to sacrifice on their own parts, teach and still provide the infrastructure for learning? Outdated curriculum. That's the last. When we look at what we are teaching in our classroom, I won't even say outdated curriculum is our only problem. It's the fact that a lot of us who are educators, we don't even understand the meaning of curriculum or what we need to do when it comes to curriculum. Curriculum means the overall experience that a child will gather while in the school. So everything the child takes in the school environment is curriculum. It is not limited to what the teacher is teaching, like, okay, everybody look at the board. Today we are it's social studies class. Welcome to our social studies class. Our topic is family, types of family. That's not the only thing we call curriculum. If the teacher smiles at the kids, welcome them. Hey, Sophia, how are you today? It is part of learning. It is part of the curriculum. If the teacher takes the pupils outdoor, they explore the environment, maybe they do scavenger hunts, they do all of those experiences, they are part of the curriculum. And the fact that schools that are even claiming to use Nigerian curriculum, which is the most accessible, the easily accessible curriculum for everybody, you want to use Nigerian curriculum, it's quite easy. If you are, just go to your Ministry of Education and get a copy, sit with your team, make copies of that, discuss over and over, teach yourself, train yourself, understand the principles and philosophies of that curriculum and teach effectively. But how many schools are even doing that? You walk into a school, sometimes you ask them for their curriculum, they don't have. They are online asking, please, I need scheme of work for this. Please, I need scheme of work for that. Please. And when they get those ones they are getting online, they are curriculums that, let me say last session, the government's updated the curriculum. But online, you won't have the updated curriculum. You won't have access to that. It will be something that someone has scanned, maybe someone scanned a whole curriculum somewhere and posted it online in PDF or something. And that is what a school will go ahead and print out and say, okay, this is our curriculum. And you ask, okay, you are in early years, you are teaching the nursery section. What are the philosophies and principles of early years education in Nigeria? They don't even understand. The curriculum stops at number 1 to 200 for nursery section. And schools are teaching number 1 to 1,000. Where did you see your 1 to 1,000? No one can mention it. If you say you're using Montessori curriculum, what is Montessori's philosophy about mathematics? If you're saying you are using EYFS, what is EYFS principles about mathematics? So as we're talking about outdated curriculum, we should also talk about curriculums that are not well implemented. No curriculum is totally bad. It can never be so bad that it is totally bad. Yes, no, not even the Nigerian curriculum is totally bad. And if it's British curriculum you want to refer to, if it is Montessori, no curriculum is totally bad, and no curriculum is totally perfect. Because as educators, we are expected to really align the curriculum with our environment. So what do we have? I haven't mentioned these few problems. I haven't cited these few examples. What then is the role of innovation in education? Innovation in education, just as I said at the beginning of this session, is the application of new ideas, teaching methods, and curriculum designs to enhance the quality and effectiveness of the learning experience. It involves rethinking traditional approaches to better engage students and equip them with the skills they need to thrive in the modern world. We are not, when we are talking about innovation, we are not saying dump everything you have been doing. No, we are saying look critically at what you have been doing. How effective are they? What do you believe is not relevant to the future of these children? Those ones that are not relevant to the future of these students, can we bring them out? What do we think is important for children who work in the next 20 years, 30 years? By 20 years' time, they'll be in the labor market. What skills would they need? And bring all of that into what they are learning now. So their mind is not fixed. At this point, we must not raise children who have fixed mindsets. We must not. Because the world is fast changing. The world is fast changing. A lot of ideas, a lot of things are changing. And if we don't have children who have growth mindsets, who can quickly adapt and thrive in new changes, it will be tough. It will be tough. And when we are able to innovate in education, we are then able to have improved learning outcome. Improved learning outcome. Innovative teaching methods and technologies can lead to improved academic performance among students. Yes. And one of the things I've observed closely is that the importance of personalized learning cannot be overemphasized. Many educators tend to see children as equal. You walk into a class and you just teach everyone equally. And you say, do you understand? Yes. And then you say you have taught something. Meanwhile, each child in that class, if you have 20 children in that class, 20 students in that class, it means you have 20 distinct personalities. You have 20 different personalities who learn differently. They all learn differently. They all learn through different approaches. How can you assume that every one of them understands equally? That is like saying the fish in the water and the bird in the sky, they have the same, you put them in the same environment. Maybe you put the fish, you want the fish to fly just like the bird. You call the bird a failure. And if you want the bird to swim like the fish, you end up calling that bird a failure. So you need to tap into the potentials of each child and look deeply into the meaning of education. If for those who studied education at bachelor's degree level, you must have heard about Babalola's definition of education as bringing out the latent skill in pupils, bringing out the latent skills in them. So it therefore means that our approaches to teaching and learning must be one that can help each child to thrive. We must then embrace differentiation method. We must learn about the different types of learners. When we say we have the visual, the audiovisual, the kinesthetic learners. How does the visual students learn? How does the audio students learn? How does those kinesthetic learners, how do they learn? We must bring all these approaches into our classrooms. And we also need to understand the special education needs. There are children who are gifted and talented. Before you say A, they already know it. You can't use that to judge a child who has learning difficulties. A child who is suffering from dyslexia, a child who is suffering from dysgraphia, a child who is suffering from dyscalculia. A child who is suffering from this dyscalculia, who once you just write 2 + 2 on the board, the network will switch off. And what will you do? You need to find creative, fun, and artistic approach for that child to enjoy and learn and have interest in learning mathematics. The child who has dyslexia, here we don't do psychology tests, we don't do behavioral tests, right? But in America, the recent statistics says that 1 out of every 5 children you encounter has dyslexia. That is saying 20% of children is suffering from dyslexia. And we just see them struggling with reading. We won't know. We'll assume it's their fault. The child does not understand. I have been teaching since. No. You need to tap into the strength of that child to get to address that weakness. Personalized, that's just me explaining personalized learning. How you can make sure, how you can rethink traditional approach of teaching everybody generally to helping them through personalized learning using differentiation method, such that every child in that class learns is important. If you look at student engagement, innovative practices will also make learning more engaging and interactive. A child who has access to VR headsets and can see places, can interact, let me give you an example. At the beginning of 2022-2023 session, we tried something. We set up a tech classroom where students in that class, they learn through the use of full technology tools. The students in that class, they learned faster than those in the traditional class. Though in the traditional class, they had the interactive whiteboard, they had some bits of technology infused in their learning. But this set that I said, fully technology integrated classroom, it was wow. It was wow. So it improves students' it makes learning interactive and engaging, yes. And when we are preparing, we are looking ahead at the future, preparing for the future. As the job market evolves, students need skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and digital literacy. British Council has a course that is called Core Skills, CORE, and there they talk about critical thinking and problem solving skills, communication, collaboration, creativity, yes, digital literacy, and student leadership. Microsoft also has a similar course for educators. So the importance is that a few years ago, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, and the likes of them, they came out and said they are no longer looking for the best graduating students from Harvard. They are looking out for someone who can actually turn their businesses around. And anyone who can turn situations around is someone who can think critically, who can solve problems, who can try new things, that's the person they are looking out for, not the best graduating students. So innovation in education ensures that students are better prepared for the demands of the 21st century. Who are the stakeholders in education? Yes, we have the government. They are stakeholders because they make the policies, and their policies affect us, either positively or negatively. And it is all of their policies, not only policies they make in education, not only policies, the policies, whatever decision they make on the economy has huge impact on education. Every of their policies. So as an educator, each time the government announced new policy, I try to look at it. From this new policy, what are the problems that may arise for educators? Okay, what are the benefits for educators? If there are problems, are there something we can do right away so we are well prepared ahead of that, of the effects that may arise from those new policies? So we must also be providing, as citizens, we must be providing feedback to the government on the effect of their policies. Oh, this is good. We felt it this way and it helped us. Oh, this is quite harsh on us. We felt it this way and it wasn't really working for the sustainability of our businesses. We all must be able to share our feedback constructively. So as educators, teachers, school administrators, school leaders, we are stakeholders. Parents are stakeholders. They are the ones who give birth to their children, and they have huge influence on the education of their children. So they are stakeholders. The students themselves, the learners, they are stakeholders. We cannot teach them if they are not ready to learn. The community where businesses operate, or if it's a public school, the communities where our schools are located, everybody in that community, they are also major stakeholders in either shaping the teaching and learning process positively or negatively. So how do we, since we have identified that we have these different stakeholders, that is like everybody who is not listed here, everybody is listed. So how can we as educators strategically collaborate, strategically create partnerships that can work for the effectiveness and efficiency of teaching and learning processes in our schools? We need to collaborate with stakeholders, with the government. We need to identify that the government is not our enemy. Either we are supporters or opponents or whatever, we must understand that we must be able to work together with the government, provide feedback to the Ministry of Education, provide feedback to government parastatals. When we keep providing feedback to them, yes, they may not take every of our feedback serious. Yes, they may not attend to them with matters of urgency. Let me use Lagos State, for example. You have the OEQA, and they are always open. You have where you can drop your mails, you have where you can drop your messages. And last year, they even sent out an email where parents can lodge their complaint and all of that. So collaborate with the government, provide feedback on their policy, share your challenges, share your struggles, share your successes, your wins, the new things you've tried and you think the government can adopt. We can't leave it to them alone because they are not, why we need to provide this feedback is they are not in the classroom. Of course, they come around for observations, but the truth is when they come for observations, there are many makeshifts. There are many things that, okay, school knows they are coming for inspection today. They'll do everything possible to work in line with the government requirements, which may not be their everyday practice. So we must provide feedback and work closely with policymakers to ensure the effectiveness and efficiency of learning in our classrooms. We as educators, we also owe it to ourselves to learn. I think as educators, we should be the number one people who is learning. We must take our professional development personal. I took that word from Mr. Lanre Oguntoye of Green Spring School. We must take professional development personal. We must, because the more we learn, the more we see, okay, so this is it. We must be open to learn from from diverse sectors, not just our industry alone. What's happening here? What's happening there? What's happening there? That helps us to prepare ourselves better. That helps us to prepare the students in our classrooms better. As leaders, if you are a business leader, school leader, maybe you are head of department, school administrator, you must invest in learning about leadership and management, because leadership is beyond position. Someone may be on a seat like this and say, okay, I'm the head of school. But in the reality of that school, it may be the security guard that is the head of school. You know what that means? It may be that security guard has more influence than even the person sitting on that head of school seat. So, because in Maxwell's definition of leadership, Maxwell says leadership is influence. So if leadership is influence, as consultants, when we work into a school, we try to see who has the stronger influence in the school. And most times, let me tell you, it is not the head of school. It may be one teacher. Oh, we started together. That may be the person who's the emir guy of that school. So who's holding the key to whichever direction the school wants to fall. So we must, as leaders in the business, we must intentionally learn about leadership. You must learn about business management. We must learn about business management because that is what can keep our business, our private school ventures profitable and sustainable. I keep using the two words together because there are strategies that can help a school to be profitable now. I mean, right now, the school can earn some quick money, but that strategy may be a debt trap in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, so profitability and sustainability works together if you really want a business that will thrive over the years. As parents, each of us here, we may have a child, 2 kids, 3, 4, 5, or we may be caregivers to some children. We are all stakeholders, and as educators, we must engage parents. Many schools struggle with strategic parent partnership. You must intentionally nurture parents to be your strategic partners. You must strategically nurture them. Why I use the word strategically is you must be aware of what you are doing. As private schools, as an educational consultant, I actually don't advise schools to really have PTA. I mean private schools to have PTA. PTA is actually for public schools. Okay. It is assumed that okay, because the government is there paying the staff salary, and then the parents and the teachers, they may sit together and say, oh, we need to buy chalk. We need, this school needs something, and they all deliberate together and reach an agreement. In private school, we believe that the school leader must envision the school they want. This is the type of school we want. And they must be able to communicate this vision with every stakeholder in the school. And from time to time, have strategic meetings with parents. Not, we want to increase school fee. Should we increase it? We want to do end of session party. Should we do it? We want to, whatever is crucial for the vision of the school to run effectively, yes, do it. What you do with parents is, yes, every time have meetings with parents. This meeting, you don't call them meeting because you are not really coming to deliberate and deliberate and deliberate. What you do is have events that where they can get up to date information about the school, and where you can also train them, because parenting is suffering now. Many people are not even aware of their roles as parents. They are not aware of their responsibilities as parents. They don't even know what is expected of them to do. So if you just sit them together and you're saying you're deliberating on something, they will scatter everything. But when you have gathered them, either for parenting class, for business breakfast meeting, for family sessions, sessions, there are lots of activities you can do with parents, just once in a time engagement. Apart from that, let's say you are running a boarding school. Before school resumes, like let me say first week, a week before school resumption, you should have an orientation day where parents come, you have your counselor, you have your school, you inform parents of everything, all the rules and guidelines of students being in your school. You all are on the same page. In fact, what I teach is that when parents come for admission inquiry, it shouldn't just be, okay, welcome to our school. This is our school bill. Can you afford it or not, or something like that? No. Oh, welcome to ABC School. My name is Zainab, Mabini-Adesanya, and I'm very glad to have you on this seat this morning. Here in ABC School, tell your researchers should be able to say the school's vision. We bring out here in ABC School, we nurture children to greatness. We help them through this. The mission, the core values of the school, you say all of that. Your policies, you start explaining one after the other. What's your curriculum like? Explain what your curriculum is like, everything. Let them have clear understanding of that even before they drop their child in your school. And then, yes, if you want to do it well, have your parents' policy handbook, which they can take home, they can read all your guidelines, and they can sign in agreement. And that helps you all to work together better. I know of a school in Lagos that even goes as far as training house helps. Yes, there is a crèche preschool in Lagos that goes as far as saying every time bring your nannies, because they believe that once the baby leaves their crèche, the baby is actually going into the hand of the nanny, not even the mother. So they bring the nannies together, they teach them, they train them on how to feed babies, how to take good care of them, how to tell me which parents will not like that. So what I'm saying here is that when talking about strategic partnership with parents, I'm not saying go ahead and be talking about should we increase tuition fee or should we not increase it. So have discussions that are beneficial for your growth as a school and for their own growth as a parent as well. For students, you must first nurture their interest in learning. Nurture their interest in learning, because if they are not interested, there is nothing you can do. So from time to time, make sure you have your counseling unit, and at every time that you spot an issue somewhere, yes, sit with the child personally and discuss and discuss and discuss and find out how to help the child overcome whatever challenge it is. In your local community where your school operates, build relationship. Build relationship, not scatter the whole community. You have a school in the community and you don't greet people in that community. You say, oh, they are too local. They are too this for my class. They are too this for my this. If you know they were local, why did you have your school in that environment? As you're driving past them, greet. It's common sense. If we don't greet them, may we not have any emergencies. These people in the neighborhood are the one who quickly come to the rescue of the school. Build relationships. I have one of people in my circle. She shared an experience sometimes back. It was 2 years ago. Yes, I remember very well now. 2 years ago, because we are heading towards October 1st now. And she said, while they were thinking of what to do on October 1st, the Friday, September 30th, as school's independence anniversary day activity. So they gathered the school prefects, and asked them questions. So, you guys, we have been brainstorming. We don't even know yet. What do you think we can do? And one of them said, oh, let's visit the ballet in our community. The school now was like, oh, ballet. Okay, that sounds good. But even the ballet in this community, I don't know him. So she went through the CDA. They met the ballet. With the ballet was very happy. It was like, oh, this is the first time a school is coming to us to actually, to recognize us in this community, and to even want to work with us. So please pardon me, let me quickly attend to something. Okay, I'm sorry about that. They went to then the ballet asked them, so what has your school done for our community? The woman was dumbfounded. She was like, okay, well, we have enrolled some pupils in our school on scholarship. Children from this community, they are in our school. And she mentioned a number of them who are in the school on scholarship. The ballet then asked, what do you want us to do for your school? What do you want the community to do for your school? Do you want us to build up your school property? Do you want us to give you a land and build for you, and then maybe you just pay us back in installments, blah, blah, blah. The woman was shocked. She said, okay, the land is okay, but she would build herself. They gave her 2 plots of land. On October 1st, when we were having a strategic leadership session, the ballet was calling her right in my presence. So what I'm saying is that you cannot do it alone. You cannot operate alone. You cannot be a loner. I think everything will work fine. You need the government, you need to work with the government, you need to work with parents, you need to work with teachers in the school, you need to work with the students, you need to work with your community leaders. The community, you need everybody. So when you are able to collaborate, you will be able to get better results. There is another that says, when you want to go far, go alone. Sorry, when you want to go fast, go alone. But when you want to go far, go with others. That is collaboration. And part of the partnership that you need is also with other educators. With other educators. Okay, you need collaboration with other educators, just as we are here. Okay, there are several training platforms. Apart from training platforms, please, I advocate that you are at least a member of one or two associations. Be a member, and don't just go ahead and just say you are a member somewhere. What is the vision of that association? What do they stand for? What do they seek to achieve? Does their vision align with yours? Okay, because if you are just sitting alone, there are quite a lot you can do together as a group than what you can do together, than what you can do single-handedly. And part of the partnerships you also need is actually um, international accreditations. Let's say your school, you have a secondary school that is approved by the government. You have done your WAEC and NECO accreditations. Yes, explore Cambridge accreditations, explore partnerships across the world. It is now open. Almost all the accreditation bodies have their website and everything. Explore and build relationships. All right. So we are going to the second part now. How do we build an innovative culture? Building an innovative culture. You know, I said the first thing is you create a vision of innovation. Your vision should not be static, should not just be, this is what we just want, and we are not ready to innovate, we are not ready to adapt, we are not ready to adopt new strategies, we are not ready to change traditional approaches. Your vision must connect with innovation. Grange schools in Lagos, one of the pioneer international schools. Do you know their mantra? They say culture of continuous improvement. That's what operates at the back of their mind. Culture of continuous improvement. And what that means is that whatever we have, yes, we are doing well, we are doing fine, but we are ready to continue improving. Because if in this 2023, let's say you are the best, you have the best approaches and best of everything, if you are still not willing to continue to improve, before you know it, by 2025, yeah, you become outdated. So you must build a vision, you must create a vision for innovation. I'll discuss that further later in the slides. Leadership role, you must identify the role you need, the leadership role you need to build that innovative culture. And you must nurture innovation mindset. All the stakeholders have identified earlier. You must nurture innovation mindset such that, yes, we have an innovative culture. Creating a vision for innovation, what does that mean? The school's vision should articulate a clear and inspiring picture of what the institution aspires to achieve. The vision statement, your vision, should be forward-thinking, emphasizing innovation as a core value. For example, a vision might be to foster a culture of innovation that empowers students to excel in an ever-changing world. Oh, wow. I've just given you a vision statement for free. I dash you. Okay, so to foster a culture of innovation that empowers students to excel in an ever. This is a perfect vision statement for any school. The perfect one, because this statement has identified that the world is ever changing. It has identified that there is need for the culture to be the culture of innovation. And it has identified the most important feature, that to empower students, that they are willing to empower students to excel in an ever-changing world. What is your school's vision statement? Did you just put some words, big words, it's just there, and even you yourself, you can't even connect with that vision statement? Okay, let me quickly explain the difference between vision and mission. Vision is the future. The future you see when you sit down and you're able to project into the future of that business, into the future of that school. Okay, what is it exactly that if in the future this happens, I'll be so happy and fulfilled? That's the vision. And when you're thinking about the vision, you need to think big. Look at the bigger picture. Put your problems aside. Drop your problems somewhere else. Look at the bigger picture. That's vision. But what mission means is, mission is like the vehicle. You say missionary, right? Mission is the vehicle. What will take you to that vision? What will lead to that vision? That is what is called a mission. This is why when writing a vision statement, we say to, because you are putting it in the future, to foster, to empower, to enhance, we start vision statement with to. But when we are coming to mission, we use present continuous tense. Are we together? We use present continuous tense to write the mission statement because it is everyday activity. What we do every day to lead us to that vision. That is what we call mission. So the school mission must align with the vision. You don't just write a mission, your vision, and put it somewhere, and out of the blues again, generate a mission statement. No. You make sure that you look at your vision statement. Your first statement should be your vision statement. You now look critically at this. Okay, from what we have here, to foster a culture of innovation that empowers students to excel in an ever-changing world. What do we need to do every day? And then we look at our mission statements. We say providing cutting-edge curriculum and technology to nurture creativity and critical thinking. Then what that means is that once we are able to ensure that every day the curriculum is up to date, the technology, we use technology, and we nurture creativity and critical thinking in children, we are definitely empowering them to excel in an ever-changing world. Are we together? So that is a mission statement. And then we say core values. What are those core values? Core values are keywords that every stakeholder in the business, in the school environment, must hold dear to their hearts. Every stakeholder in the school, from the school leader to the teacher, to the pupils, to the parents, everybody must hold the core value to heart. And if you look at this vision statement and the mission statement, you pick your core values from the mission statement. Therefore, creativity must be a core value in our school. We must be creative in our school. Oh, creative. We are critical thinking. Then it means we must build problem-solving culture. For us to build that problem-solving culture, everybody must have growth mindset. Everybody in that school, either a parent or the students, they must have growth mindset. They must be creative. They must be able to solve problems. And we say we have technology, so they must be digital literate. So everybody in the school, either you're a teacher or whatever, you must be able to use technology well. And you have statements like, okay, respect, love, faith, whichever thing we want to add to it. If you say love, we are not talking about the romantic love. We are talking about an environment where everyone loves the other person as the same as themselves. If you're saying respect, an environment where everybody gives what they want to get back. If you're saying faith, it means an environment where everybody holds God dear to their heart. Faith is different from religion. Yes, faith is trusting God, believing He is there, and working in line with that. Those are just few examples of core values. You see these three that I've explained, they are very crucial to every other thing that will be done in the school. So align this with innovation goals. So you set action, you set goals for the school. When you set the goals, you put, let's say, in 2023, 2024 session, your school, you have identified 3 strategic goals, 2 strategic goals, 4 strategic goals. You take each goal and put them in action plans. What do we need to do to achieve this goal? What do we need to do to achieve this goal? And in your action plan, it states the action. What do you need to do? You state the timeline, when you must get it done. You state the responsibility. Who are those responsible to get this done? Such that when that timeline reaches, we are able to hold them accountable. Hey, what have we done? Hey, what have we done? I hope you understand. So, because if we don't set goals, especially at this out, it is important to set goals. If you don't set goals, if you don't put them in action plans, if our action plans does not have timelines and responsibilities, they are as good as nothing. And the leadership role, we must, as school leaders, the principal, the heads, we must all champion innovation. You must set the tone for the institution's commitment to innovation by actively promoting and participating in innovative initiatives. As a school leader, if a school leader has fixed mindset, it's just there, the person is just stagnant, and that person is saying the school should embrace innovative culture, who will answer the person? But if the person is also committed to innovating initiatives and is promoting it and is driving others, supporting them, helping them get it done, of course, yes, the school will definitely be an innovative environment. But the school leader is like, me, I don't need to know this. That one, I don't need to know it. I don't need to know it. I don't need to know it. Definitely, whatever innovation the school brings in will die because the school leader is not committed to it. And we must nurture innovative mindsets. Yes, the growth mindset, which refers to the belief that intelligence and abilities can be developed through effort and learning. We must embrace growth mindset as educators, as leaders, and we must nurture this mindset in our students. We must also promote creativity and ensure that students participate in brainstorming sessions, design thinking, they participate in workshops, in project-based learning. All this will help them to think out of the box and explore alternative solutions to problems. So quickly, I'm going to the third part now because I want to make sure we wrap up by 1 p.m. So I'll make sure I end my session, let's say 12:50 or 12:45. So we ask questions, feedbacks, and then we call this a day. All right, so the curriculum design and teaching methods. So what do we have? We must have a dynamic and adaptable curriculum that can keep the pace with evolving needs of students and the demand of the modern world. Our curriculum should be designed to meet the diverse learning styles, abilities, and interests of students. We design the curriculum should incorporate what all of this means is that we don't just sit down and keep using the same curriculum over and over and over and over again. As a teacher, you don't just keep repeating your lesson plan, the lesson notes you have for what's it called? Since the lesson notes you used last year, 2 years ago, it's still the same lesson notes you copy and bring into this session. You must be able to adapt. You must be dynamic, making sure that learning meets. We have someone who's not muted. Who's that? Okay, Mrs. Mary Ben. Okay, I think I may, and also Zemzem. I'll mute this. Can you mute from your end, please, Mrs. Mary Ben? Can you mute from your end? Okay, that's fine. All right, so the curriculum must align with that school's vision for innovation. Yeah, and the teaching methodologies must also align with the innovation we talked about. Collaboration and partnerships, collaborate with industry and organizations, collaborate to, the health center, collaborate with those in the medical fields, collaborate with those in fire service, collaborate across industries. And what can you do? Let's say you want to have a safety students here, have someone from Red Cross, have someone from Fire Service Commission to come and teach you on how you can handle emergencies. That's an example of collaboration. And you can also visit them at their offices, know what they are doing. Students see, make sure you partner, you collaborate with industries and organizations. And that gives students that first-hand experience of how things are done beyond the classroom. And then you must also know that in driving an innovation, running an innovation during school, there will be challenges. Okay, there will be challenges, but you must prepare your mind to overcome those challenges. Maybe it may be some innovative practices may involve more funds than you currently have. Some may require you train your staff more. There may be some challenges, but you must be open to overcome those challenges. All right, let's quickly look at these case studies. That's the last part here. We see a school that faced resistance to change. And this school, what happened? This school implemented a comprehensive professional development program for teachers. This program equipped educators with the skills and confidence to embrace innovative teaching methods, leading to improved students' engagement and outcomes. When you want to Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, my router switched off, so I just had to quickly change to another. Okay, so I was citing an example that when I want to introduce a new, okay, when I want to introduce something new, there may be reactions. Oh, this is difficult. Oh, we cannot do this, we cannot do that. So what do you do? Have a robust, continuous professional development platform for your teachers. Wait for facilitators, consultants to come and train your teachers all the time. Create a CPD calendar, set some, okay, so this term, if any one of you is able to attend trainings and bring evidence of attending the training, maybe through certificates or so whatever evidence is. Let's say if you attend three workshops out of the school, you will earn this additional incentive. If you attend 5, you earn this. If you attend 10, you earn this. But the minimum you must attend is 3. Okay? Okay, all right. In the school as well, every week, I've taught this over, but let me just say it again. I have a teacher CPD calendar. So the teacher's name, week 1, the teacher's name, the topic, and then that teacher comes around and teaches for, within themselves. Let's say you agree on Mondays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So the person in charge must have studied hard, done the research. And let's say the person is to talk about some strategies in teaching at the early years. The person teaches, the teachers, everybody, they learn, they take notes. And what I actually do is that each teacher that come around to teach, drop 10 objective questions. Okay, from what you have taught, share 10 drop 10 objective questions to the school head and their answers. So by the time you are at week 10, you already have 10 sessions like that. So the school head, can this person be muted, please? The school head takes 3 questions from each person, 3 questions each from each teacher, and that's 30 questions. I use objective because so that it can be easy to grade. And anyone who scores 70 among them, 70% or more, gets something. So that helps everybody to sit tight with that CPD session. So they learn, using that method is even far effective. That's in-house CPD training for them. It is very, very effective. And yes, they go out for trainings, they go do online trainings. They don't have to do physical trainings all the time. Online trainings and everybody is fine. So that's example 1. Another case study is, let's look at this school that they struggle with limited resources, but they leverage partnership with local businesses and organizations. Through this partnership, they secured funding, technology resources, and mentorship opportunities for students. Oh my God, this is deep. Okay, a school that has limited funds, okay, and the school wants to make sure they're able to achieve everything they need to achieve. What did that school do? There are grant opportunities. But when I talk about grant here, I'm not just talking about, yeah, it's free money, but that money is granted based on some criteria. So if the school has robust community engagement and the school has record of that, it's a strong point to win grants. Apart from this, a school can leverage opportunities in the community, just as I said. There are various ministries that you can approach, several organizations, private and public organizations that you can approach, and you can do something together. The whole, since you're doing something together, yeah, parents will trust your business more. The students will be happy, and your enrollment will increase. Your enrollment will increase. And also, apart from the NAPS or school associations, you also look at business networking circles where you have business leaders from other industries where you can learn, share experience, and it helps you to grow faster. If you have friends, if you have circle of business leaders who are not in education, it helps you to grow faster. Okay, so the third example is a school that transformed its assessment and evaluation approaches by designing innovative project-based assessments that align with their curriculum. This shift not only measured students' growth accurately, but also encouraged critical thinking and creativity. Now, using project-based learning, project-based assessment helps students to be more accountable. It helps them to think critically and solve problems. It exposes them to real life situations, and they are able to have first-hand experience of, oh, this is how this thing works, this is how this thing works. So beyond the teacher being in the classroom, just telling them that this is this, and then they just take it as that. So if the school changes this third case studies, this school changed the evaluation and assessment model and make sure, okay, they designed an innovative and project-based assessment where they could actually monitor the growth of each child, and they could also help the children to achieve critical thinking and problem-solving skills. All right. Yes, so you can read this in full if you have this document. Once I meant you can read this in full. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining me. It's my pleasure speaking to you this Saturday. So, your questions? Mr. Adedeji, are you there? Hello? Okay, someone is raising hand.
Good afternoon, Miss Zainab Mabini.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Honestly, I'm really wowed. This is the first time I'll be listening to your is it lecture or workshop? This is the first time. In fact, I was fortunate to see it on your status, so that was I quickly joined. In fact, this is the first time, and I so much really enjoyed it. In fact, I'm feeling like I have some of my teachers here, or have the opportunity to also listen to it.
Wow.
So,
Thanks so
my
much.
yes, my question is, I don't know what is CPD.
Okay, Mrs. Marybeth, kindly mute. Okay, is Mr. Adedeji there? So you can mute this participant so I can hear your question better. You told me earlier that he wasn't feeling fine. Okay, it's safe now. I think the person is having network connection. So, Mrs. Mafuza, over to you, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Mazida. I said my question is
okay.
I didn't get the meaning of CPD.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What CPD means is continuous professional development, or some say continuing professional, but I use continuous anyway. Continuous professional development. And what that means is that, as you know, we are educators, we are teachers, we are professionals in our field, and we must continue to improve. So those trainings we attend, those workshops we attend, they are to help us. In let's say in the UK, for example, every 2 years, teachers must profile their CPDs, the trainings they've attended that is in line with, let's say you are a teacher in the early years, you must be able to have attended at least a particular number of workshops. Some workshops are mandatory, and then some are not mandatory. So beyond having your NCE degree or whatever it is, you are expected as professionals, all of us, we must continue to learn. So that's the meaning.
Okay, wow. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
oh,
hope you can hear me,
You're
ma'am.
welcome, ma. You're welcome. Okay, Mr. Adedeji is here now. I think he talked.
I've been here. I have to
Okay.
unmute.
Okay. I hope you are feeling better. Sorry. Mr. Zemzem, or I don't know if it is Mrs. Can I hear from you, please? Hello? Is this person online? Okay, Mrs. Mazida, are you raising your hand again? I think you dropped the hand
yes,
earlier.
ma. Yes, ma. Yes, ma. So sorry. Please, I don't know. Is it possible for us to get the recording or some of the slides? I don't
Yes,
know.
you can have access to the recording and the slides after this. Yes, you can have access to it.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma.
Yes, we are welcome, ma'am. I want to hear from this either Mr. or Mrs. Zemzem. All right, it's nice speaking with you. Thank you so much. Though I shared the notification very late, I already logged in before I remember. Oh, I haven't shared this notification with people within my network. So, but it's good, we have recorded it, so everyone can have access to it even after this period. So, thank you all for joining in. My name remains Zainab Mabini-Adesanya. Thank you, and have a very great weekend. Goodbye.
Bye.